So, I wanted to talk to you about how to add movable parts to your lesson. So, if we're going to be adding movable parts, there's a couple different ways you can do it. This is an example of a lesson that I teach, and I do have movable parts that I add. I add in a green check mark and a red X. So, usually during this lesson, since this is the only page where I'm using movable parts, I'll just add it when we get to the page. However, you can save the file in a different format once the parts have been added. And then that way, next time you load the file, it'll come up with the parts already on there ready to be moved. So any kind of movable object you would like to make, you can find in the clip art page right here. So we would bring it up and there are different backgrounds. I use the common symbols. These are most likely what you're going to be looking at, especially for our subjects, since we're not going to be using a lot of math symbols or anything, or Greek words. Those are kind of what you get into here. So I stick in the common symbols, and I will just click and drag where I want these, and I'll usually put quite a few. You just click, hold down the click, and you drag it to where you want it to be. So I'm just going to put a bunch of these, and you can see, if you want them to use stars or exclamation points or smiley faces, whatever you're doing that you're moving parts. Maybe it's, this is a true false page. So they're going to be putting a green check if the statement is true and a red X if the statement is false. So usually I just put a bunch down here while I'm telling the kids what they're going to do. And then once it's done, I close out of this, and then they can pick these up and move them and put them where they want them. So let's say in my lesson, I don't want to have to do that every time. I want it to be preloaded. Then what I'm going to do now is I'll go to File and I'll go to Save. And I'm going to save the whiteboard. I'm going to select to save all of the pages. That way it keeps it all in one file. And I'll go ahead and just save it to my desktop. Oops, maybe new computer. So now the only trick is going to be you can't send this file out because it can only be read in Blackboard. But let's say that I do want to load it. What I can do is come back here and I will find it and open it up, and you'll see my slides open up, and we'll go down to the slide where I added the parts. Here's slide number 7. And the parts are there already loaded. So you can see it saves it so that they're there every time you open the file. Now, if you're going to email this file out to students or send it to them, you do need to send them the original PowerPoint version or a PDF version. This file format, when you save it as a whiteboard, cannot be read when other people try to open it. It only opens in Blackboard. That's just something to keep in mind. Okay, I hope that was helpful. If you have questions, let me know.